All right, so I'm here to introduce Melissa, producer Melissa. And first of all, I want to give you a little backstage inside information that we don't broadcast too much, but for you guys, it's cool. We're related. So on the show, if I'm giving her a hard time or she's giving me a hard time, you know why. We're related, all right? Brother and sister. Anyways, so that's kind of some back behind the scenes stuff. Now, it's kind of cool because Melissa has been with the show since day one. In fact, when we first came up with the idea of Curiosity Quest, it was Melissa who took a regular, ordinary video camera, and I said, follow me, Melissa, I have this idea. And we went like this ditch in your backyard. I mean, really, some behind the scenes stuff here. We went in this ditch it wasn't a ditch, it was like a wash in your backyard, and we basically said, just turn the camera on, I've got this idea. Hi, I'm Joel Green, and welcome to Curiosity Quest. And what's Curiosity Quest? So, I mean, that's kind of how it all started. So from day one, our very first episode of Krispy Kreme Donuts, till today.
Yep.
50 odd,
yep.
A lot of episodes later. So people are always asking me, Joel, what does a producer do on this show? What happens? And so I'm going to turn to Melissa and say, Melissa, what do you do on the show?
I don't do anything at all. I just stand there. No. Yeah, I do a lot. I do pretty much anything you could think of, and I've had my hand in it before. I would say when we get the letters, I screen the letters and I take a look at what people are wanting to learn about, and then once we pick a letter that we like, we try to find a location to shoot at. So I do all the calls and find the locations and meet the contacts and set up the shoot. There is a lot that's involved in the day that we shoot, and yeah, no, not at all. You know, setting up our schedule and what time we're gonna start. I want to make sure the camera guys are ready and they have everything they need. But I would say my main purpose here as producer is to keep Joel focused. Because if anybody knows Joel, he's not acting for the show. This is how he is all the time, and I have to keep him focused because otherwise he's all over the place. But anyways.
We try to have, when we shoot Curiosity Quest, and it's always a surprise to places we go to that basically say, okay, so do you want me to do this and do you want me to do that, and how am I going to respond? What questions are you going to ask me? And what do I say? I was like, no. We're not going to do it like any other shoot you've ever done. It's natural, it's real, it's in the moment. And then I'll start going off on something, and Melissa will say, Joel, right here. I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, she's right. Keeping me focused is her main thing. So, and it's a tough job because
yes, absolutely.
It is a tough job. Now, one of the most common questions that we get, or some questions that we get, people ask us all the time.
What's your favorite show that you've ever done?
Yeah. Well, what's the most memorable moments that you've ever had on Curiosity Quest? And
what's a funny moment?
A funny moment?
People ask that all the time.
We get asked that a lot. In fact, and we've had a lot of funny moments, and we try to put all funny moments on the show. So, it's funny because people are like, what happens behind the scenes? Well, a lot of what happens behind the scenes we actually put on the show. If I mess up, or if we do something goofy, or if I fall or trip, I mean, usually that makes it on the show. But I think what we want to share is some of our most funniest moments that stand out to us, even though we put it on the show. You may not realize, for us, we just can't. Every time we think of it, we laugh our heads off. So, Melissa, what is your most memorable, funniest moment that happened on Curiosity Quest? We have like bugs surrounding us right now. We're both sweating. See, it's in the moment.
Well, there's so many to choose from, but I would have to say the tiger rescue facility that we went to in Acton, California. Shambhala Rescue.
Yeah.
Tippi Hendren is the founder of Shambhala, and she just has a passion for tigers, and I totally fell in love with her because I do too. I've always loved tigers. They're really close to my heart, and I know they're endangered and there's a lot going on with them, and I really appreciate what she was doing there. And not only that, but I got to see the tigers firsthand. They were right in front of me. I mean, I could have stuck my finger in the cage, but of course you can't do that. But I just wanted to pet him and give him a big old hug. Yeah, don't do that. But it was awesome. They have so many there that they're rescuing and that they're taking care of. The funniest thing was one of the ligers, which is a tiger-lion mix.
It's a real animal, guys.
Yeah, it's a real animal. And they had one there, and his name was Patrick, and he was the cutest thing I've ever seen. I don't think Joel thought he was very cute. But
I wouldn't go cute, no. He was beautiful, big.
But we were standing up next to the crate, and shooting, and Joel's talking to Tippy, and Tippy's telling us all about the Liger, and that she loves Patrick and he's her favorite too, and Patrick comes walking by and he's rubbing on the fence and giving us a show, and all of a sudden he turns his back to us and he pees like he was peeing, and Joel literally, like a Matrix thing, like whoa, like moving out of the way, and you could see it flying right past him, and we were just cracking up, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, if he would have got him, like what would we have done if the tiger would have peed on him? And Tippy was like, oh, he likes you. He's trying to mark his territory.
It was like projectile spray that was like, from here, way out. It was incredible. I don't know that I felt honored that he liked me.
I would say honored. You should have been honored.
But we left that on the show. It's one of those things where, so do we leave this on the show? Do we take it off? And we're like, people are going to dig this. And sure enough, we've gotten people comment on it. We've gotten people write letters like, did that cat really do that to you? And so that was a funny moment.
So what's your favorite moment, Joel?
I'd say one that stands out for me is this goes back years. We did a show at the California Speedway in Fontana, California, and it was called the California Speedway back then. And we did a show in the race cars. We were in one of their pace cars, and we got to go around the track. Now, the track they had set up at the time wasn't the normal, like what they call a D-shaped track, where you just go in a big circle. It was a obstacle track, right?
Yeah.
So you go in half the circle, and then you come down, and then you go this way, and then this way, and this way, and this way, and this way, and then you go back out on the track and do back out on the track. Sounds easy, right? Well, it was cool. We went in the pace car. I sat in the passenger front seat. The driver was in the driver's seat, and then Melissa and the camera guy were in the back seat. What makes this really unique is these were leather seats. So leather seats in a car going 120 miles an hour, even though you're strapped in with the seatbelt, when you go like this at 60, well, we slow down to 60 miles an hour? So we're on the track at about 120, and then you slow down to 90, and you're going around this turn, and you go this way, this way, this way. Well, think about what's happening on these. They're slippery. Leather seats are really slippery. And so I turn around, and Josh, the guy who was the cameraman at the time, and Melissa are literally going in the back seat. I could not stop laughing because we're going through this obstacle course going back and forth.
And I was trying to keep Josh steady. I was trying to push him against the wall so the camera wouldn't move.
And he's just going like
But I'm
this.
sliding too. It was crazy.
And I was having more fun watching them than I was going through this obstacle course. And that stands out as one of the most memorable and funniest moments on the show that I don't know if we could, I don't think we could express that on the actual footage that we got.
No.
But it was hilarious.
It was hilarious.
It was so much fun.
Thanks for letting us letting Joel ramble about our favorite memories and funniest moments on the show. And this is how we close out each of our episodes. That's a wrap.